Welcome back to our Barron Spotlight as we are joined by Justin Morneau. I thought a couple of years ago that these rehabs were easy. Big league guy would come down, he'd go 5 for 10, he'd hit 3 home runs. Pitcher would come down, throw a no-hitter, and it's just like, this is easy stuff. But it's far from that, man. Tell me how difficult it is and how far it brings you back.
Well, I think the thing you forget is how refined most of the guys are at the big league level. The misses are a couple inches off. Mm-hmm. There's not too many misses that are, a few feet away from the strike zone or whatever it is. So the comfort level in the batter's box sometimes, I think we saw the first at bat the other night, got hit in the hand, and the misses are just a little further off than what they are. So it's a little more difficult to get locked in on the strike zone, I think. But and the pitchers will tell you when they come down here, because there's so much around the plate, that it seems like the guys are so aggressive. As soon as they throw a strike, it gets hit, and you see it a lot of times. Guys come down on a rehab assignment and give up 5 or 6 runs in 3 innings, and they're trying to figure out what happened, and it's just all part of it. It's part of learning, and it's part of the game.
It's interesting. Some of your soon-to-be future teammates in Chicago, they've come down there and they're like, wow, I got to get out of there because the weather is hot, the travel is difficult. And the competition, because that pitcher wanted to beat you the other day. He doesn't want to get hit by hard by the American League MVP from a few years ago. Did you see him react a little bit differently when you got in the box versus the rest of your teammates?
I don't know if I put that much into it. I think he wants to get everybody out because he's trying to get to the next level. But there's times I remember when I was a young player and in spring training or whatever, and Pedro Martinez would come over because we just shared with the Red Sox in the same city, and he'd throw on a backfield in the minor league game. One of the guys, hit a home run off him, and it was the talk in the whole minor league clubhouse is that he took Pedro deep, and I'm sure Pedro wouldn't remember it, the next day, but that kid's that's something he'd remember the rest of his life. Pedro's a Hall of Famer. I wouldn't put myself in that category or anything like that, but you just know how it is when you're facing big league guys, and there's a little, maybe some a little extra that you want to just see how you measure up against those guys and prove to yourself that you can get to that next level, and I think that plays into it.
You're here again for a reason as we take a look. I'm sure Furco will get this, but this right here, when did that happen? Was this over time, a progression, and where is it right now?
It was an injury that happened in spring training of 15 and was there all year, played with it all year, and was hoping that rest was going to would feel better by the middle of the winter, and decided to have surgery on it in December, tore the tendon, and was not a whole lot of fun. Went through a long rehab, but back now, and feels good, feels better than it did at any point last year. So that's been nice. There wasn't a swing last year that I took really that wasn't painful or that felt good. So it's something that's come along, and I'll continue to gain confidence in it and test it every day and go through the exercises in the rehab to keep it strong, but shouldn't have any problems with it moving forward. It's seen the doctors, and they think the way they reinforced it and the way everything's done, it should be stronger than it was before. So hopefully that's the case, and don't have to worry about it the rest of the time that I play.
Our guest here on the Barron Spotlight is Justin Morneau. All right, so your impressions of the city of Birmingham and the ballpark in general. I'm thinking it's a little different than New Britain and Rochester.
Yeah, Birmingham. I've actually visited UAB a few years ago. I don't know if it was a whole nother millennium ago, but
right.
This is one of the visits I took for school when I was looking to play college baseball. So I'd been here before a long time ago. I don't remember much about it, but it's been hot. It's been nice. There's some great things about everywhere you go, but this ballpark's beautiful. I got to finish out on a rehab assignment last year in New Britain and got to go back and close down that ballpark. They got a new ballpark in Hartford, so it was really interesting to go back there and see that. It's not ever quite what you remember it. When you're moving up the ladder in the minor leagues, you don't really pay too much attention to how the ballpark is. Obviously, if it's bad, you really know that. But when it was there, we thought it was great. And coming out of the Florida State League, where we were drawing a couple hundred people a night to playing in those stadiums in AA where there's 6,000 or 7,000, and you're playing in front of big crowds. It's a lot of fun, and it's been a nice experience to come here and see this place.
Hey, with all the rehabs, by the way, that you've had to have, understand, I caught rumor is that you are picking up the spread tonight. True or false?
I think that's one of the unwritten rules of baseball.
Right.
When you go down to the minor leagues, we had. Well, I don't think I'll tell the guys what we had in
Charlotte. Yeah.
But you come to Birmingham, we have to do a little bit of barbecue, so we're going to do that tonight and have some ribs and all.
Yeah,
that
this is
kind of
not the
stuff.
Eastern League, Justin. This is it better be Southern dialect. All right, driving to the ballpark every single day in '06. What was that like?
It was fun. Our team, we got off to a little bit of a rough start. I think we were 3 games under at some point in June, and it kind of turned around all at the same time. My focus became a little bit better, and my swing started to feel good, and the team started to play well, and we felt like we couldn't lose, and that's exciting when you have that feeling, not only as a player but as a team, and every day you just can't wait for the game to start because you feel like you're going to win, and the year we had other years we went to the playoffs, had other good years, but that year was special. Just it was the first time that I'd really had success, extended success at the big league level, and kind of proved to myself that I could do it, and if I concentrated, if I focused the way it needed to be focused, and learned a lot of lessons that year, learned a lot of lessons the year before. I really struggled, but it was just one of those years that was special. Anytime we see any of those guys, we talk about it. We have great memories, and when you're on winning teams, it seems to be a really close group. Guys are looking out for each other. There's still guys playing from that team, and the guys that aren't will still talk to each other quite a bit. So it's one of those just special things that you can't explain. It's unfortunate we didn't go further in the playoffs, but it was still a really special year.
Trivia for Justin Morneau. Who did you beat out for the MVP? Who was second?
Jeter was second. He had a great year. Or Ortiz had a great year. I think he had 52 that year. It was. I think anyone could have been deserving. I think we had guys on our team. Maurer had a great year. I think he had 360 something that year. Michael Kadire, I feel like was overlooked. He didn't play the whole month of April basically, and still drove in 100 runs. I think so. It was. There's a lot of guys that had great years. I was just fortunate that mine stood out to the people that voted for it.
I know there's another league. They call it the National League. Who won the National League in '06?
Well, Ryan Howard won.
This guy's been reading your bios. Huh?
Well, we do a charity event, and I think it's pretty cool to have the two. So put my name on, and then get Ryan Howard to sign the other half of the ball, and then auction the ball off at the event. So try and have some unique things there. So it's one of those things that I think I should know, and I know for other reasons too. So.
Justin Morneau has been our guest. I know you got a bunch of other things to do, but thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
All right, Justin Morneau, our guest here on the Barons Spotlight. You can catch this and all of our interviews all summer long. Just go to barons.com.